Everybody, I'm back with another story, and this one's for Love and Kindness Month, and it's called The Jelly Donut Difference, Sharing Kindness with the World. The sun was barely up on this chilly winter morning when Dexter ran down the stairs, following the mouth-watering smell of his mom's famous bacon and cheese bread pudding. Not so fast, Dexter's twin sister Leah yelled. She yanked his shirt, getting ahead of him in time to nab the first plate of their Saturday breakfast. 3 weeks in a row, Dex, Leah grinned as she took the first bite of bacon cheesy deliciousness. Why is it such a big deal to have the first bite of pudding? Dex demanded. So she's always trying to get it first. Mom and Papa were busy cooking for family and friends who could be coming to dinner that night. Leah, it's my turn to mix the stuffing, Dexter said as he pulled the spoon right out of her hands. See, he's taking the spoon out. It's like, it's my turn. It was then that Papa realized they'd run out of eggs. Well, since you were the first to eat breakfast, Leah, you should go get eggs from Mrs. Marvis, Dex told her. Instead, Papa said both kids to get eggs from the neighbor. So he was like, since you were in such a rush, you should go get the eggs. But their dad said, you should both go do it. Mrs. Marvis answered the door and invited the twins inside. Dexter noticed a difference between their house and hers. It seemed too quiet. There were no good smells or messy countertops, just a bowl of cereal on the kitchen table. Dex wondered, where is Mrs. Marvis's family? They never seem to come around. So he's like, why is it so quiet in here and not a lot going on? On the way home with the eggs, Dex turned to Leah. Miss Marvis's house seems so lonely. Our house is always full of people, Leah observed. So let's ask Mom and Papa to invite her over to dinner tonight, Dex suggested. That's a great idea, Leah agreed. So they said, let's have her come over for dinner. Mrs. Marvis sat between Dex and Leah at the large dining table, among other guests. She told stories of living in Poland with her children many years ago. She shared a Polish tradition of making and eating jelly donuts filled with sweet and savory fillings called pączki. Dexter's eyes lit up. That sounds yummy, right? Sounds really good. Kind of like a jelly donut. Mrs. Marvis told them traditionally we made pączki during the winter months to use up all the lard, sugar, eggs, and fruit in the house before fasting for the holiday. At the meal's end, Mrs. Marvis thanked them all. What a special treat to be here with you tonight. I love remembering when my children were young and the traditions we shared. Miss Marvis said as she brushed away a tear. Now they're all grown and they're gone. I haven't made those donuts in years. So now she's kind of sad because all her kids are grown up. They're not little anymore. And she's living in the house all by herself. And she hasn't been able to make the pączki, the donuts, in such a long time. The next morning, the twins played in the snow. When they came in to warm up, Leah grabbed the last packet of hot cocoa right out of Dexter's hands. Dex was about to yank back the mix when Papa interrupted. I have a recipe here for pączki, those jelly donuts that Miss Marvis mentioned. Do you want to make them with me? Soon the kitchen was filled with gooey blueberry filling, melted butter, whipping cream, and other sticky ingredients. Yeah, Leah, your turn to stir, trying not to lick sugar off his fingers as he handed sister the spatula. So they're going to make the pączki. When they were done, the twins dropped off a bag on Mrs. Marvis's porch. She'll love them. I just know it. He and Leah trudged back home through the snow. At dinner that night, the twins devoured jelly donuts for dessert. The following weekend, Dexter looked out the window. Leah was building a snowman. He ran out to join her. Leah stopped in front of the snowman. Stop, Dex. Don't knock it down. No, I wasn't going to, Dex replied. I have an idea. Let's go build a snow family in Mrs. Marvis's yard. She'll love the company. A few days later on Monday, the twins found a letter from Mrs. Marvis. Dex picked it up and he read it out loud. Dear Dexter and Leah, the paczki that you made for me was wonderful. Even better was the lovely dinner you invited me to, and the snow family that you built for me. So she wrote a thank you letter for the dinner that they invited her to, the paczki that they made, and then the snow family that Dexter and Leah made for her. That was really nice. Those were called acts of kindness. Your acts of kindness are really appreciated. You found a great way to spend your time, and you made me feel extra special. Who would have thought jelly donuts can make such a difference? Warm wishes, Mrs. Marvis. So Dexter and Leah, they could have just did their own thing and not thought about Mrs. Marvis, but they did. They thought about her and that she was sad and that she was lonely, and they wanted to make her happy. So they did all these things to make her happy, making the paczki, making the snowman, inviting her to dinner, and those are acts of kindness. Before Leah could grab the letter from him, Dex handed it to her. I'm thankful we have each other. It felt good to work together. So isn't that nice? They appreciate each other. Leah grins, and I'm thankful that we learned how to make jelly donuts. The twins giggled until their bellies hurt, thinking about the new treats and tradition they hope to continue. And that was so nice. They shared their acts of kindness. So maybe you might think of what acts of kindness that you might want to share. And kindness is every day. So thoughts of kindness, acts of kindness should be done on a regular basis. I hope you enjoyed that story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, everyone.